The thing that you feel that's gonna take you. You get the food or no, I'm not saying.
Very dangerous to give me one of these. This meeting of River Talkers Toastmasters is now called to order. Would everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and you all may be seated. Would you please be with me on the top of your agenda, our club mission statement. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication, leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Aaron, Leticia, Dave, Amy, you all came in for a great night because we are going to have a scrumptious meeting. Now you may hear the rapping on the table, and that is whenever you use the word of the day at the top of the agenda, we rap on the table to let everybody know that the word of the day was used. And we have a great theme today that goes along with the word of the day. Donuts. Who likes donuts? Okay, I like donuts, as you can tell. My favorite are blueberry cake and chocolate glaze. So let's go around the table and please tell everybody your name and your favorite donut.
I'm Edgar Samaniego, and my favorite donut is the regular sugar on top.
I'm Raul Arias, and my favorite donut is glazed donut.
I'm Karen Wong, and my favorite donut is the sour cream glazed donut. My favorite donut is like the ones with the yummy banana latex stuff inside. I don't know if they're
Espinoza.
So my name is Katie Paul. I am the third. The minor of the family.
Your
favorite
donut.
Favorite donut, please.
Either chocolate glazed donut balls or it's like a square but the shape of the circle.
Okay. Curtis.
And my favorite donut is not a donut, it's a Oregon ball donut shop.
My name is Leticia Wool, and my favorite donut is chocolate.
I'm Brian Sugar, and my favorite is better plain glaze for Shipley's or the polish from HB.
Oh, very nice.
My name is Lorelei Hall, and my favorite donut is the long, I guess it's called long run, but not with the custard. It's got to have that sugary whipped icing kind of stuffing inside. That is great.
Yeah, yes, Grace.
I'm Grace Bennett. My favorite is the plain old fashioned because it has a little crunch on the edge.
And Mike, we didn't get you.
I like Cravalho. My favorite is maple log. No filling, just it's the log. Very good.
And Lori, and Brad, what's your favorite donut?
Hi, I'm Brad Craig. My favorite donut, I'd either take a maple bar or an apple fritter.
Oh,
Nice.
Now my mouth is watering.
I know.
I know. Would be rating those donuts right now, except for 8 have a full belly. And the donut that Lorelei described with all that rich filling, chase it with a Coca-Cola and watch, just have it fizz all the way down your throat. All right. So we take our donuts very seriously, but that doesn't mean we take ourselves seriously. So we have a humorist of the day, Brian Turner. Would you
All right, thank you, Mr. President, my fellow Toastmasters, and yes, I do have some groaners about donuts, though it's more about stomach growling than groaners.
I forgot to start, did you start the recording?
It started.
Oh, sorry, okay. All right, why did the clock in the donut shop run slow? It always went back 4 seconds. What do you call a cute donut?
Cute.
Adorable.
Adorable.
And have you ever heard of French donuts? They're the beignet of my existence. So they're actually good. They're probably my third favorite. And then finally, why couldn't the teddy bear finish his donut?
He was already stopped.
Yep.
Thank you much.
Alrighty.
We have a three-part meeting today, and to lead us through the first part and tell us a bit about the meeting is our Toastmaster today, Mike Cravalho.
Thank you, Michael. As we mentioned, donuts, they're all tasty. There's a couple donuts there. The apple fritter. I think there's white glazed. HEB kind of let me down. I bought them too late in the day and the shelves were pretty empty. But the meeting is not led only by me. There's a general evaluator that does the evaluation portion, and let me call him up so he can introduce his WAG team.
In Toastmasters, there are two great ways to grow as a speaker and as a person. The first one is running your mouth. The second one is getting feedback on how well you run your mouth. And so today we have a whole team that will evaluate us and give us feedback on how well we run our mouths. I am Michael Hall. I am a general evaluator. I will give my remarks at the end of the meeting, but then we also have our timer, Curtis, who is going to time everybody and tell us how well we did. So Curtis, please come on up and explain your duty.
Thank you, Mike. Okay. As a timer today for this meeting, I am responsible for keeping track of the time of the spoken words, speeches, in other words. And today we have 2 speeches. Amy, 5 to 7, okay. And Edgar, yours is also 5 to 7, okay. Then so at 5 minutes, I will turn on the green light. 6 minutes, I'll turn on the yellow light. 7 minutes, I'll turn on the red light. When it's red, you've got 30 seconds to wrap it up. Then we have table topics, which is 1 to 2 minutes. This is wrong on your agenda. I don't know why it says 1:15 and 1:30, because it should be 1 minute you get the green, 1:30 you get yellow, and at 2 minutes I'll turn on the red. Then you have again 30 seconds. And then for the evaluations of the 2 speeches, the evaluators get 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes you get green, yellow is 2.5, red is 3 minutes. Again, 30 seconds to wrap it up. And I will give a report at the end of the meeting when asked.
So who has ever watched C-SPAN? C-SPAN. Have you ever noticed how you have these, just about every other word? Like, well, today, we are, and we got a nom. We have a odd counter and a grammarian who is going to keep track of both scrumptious and atrocious uses of language. So please come on up, run easily.
Awesome. So scrumptious and atrocious. All right. Yes, I get to be the bad guy that's going to listen to everybody get up here and speak. And as he said, when you're not on teleprompter and you don't know always what to say, your brain might be going slower than your mouth, and then your mouth says, well, like, but so, kind of, maybe, I don't know, sort of, things of that nature. So you have to be able to get your mouth and your brain synced up together. And also it helps to be able to notice when you're about to say one of those words you're not supposed to say, that you don't say anything. Because that's appropriate to not say anything. The ums, ahs, wells, like so's, those things don't contribute to the message that you're trying to portray. So silence is golden. And then, like you said, I'll also be listening for the word of the day, which is scrumptious. If you have one of our scrumptious donuts in the middle here. And then I'll also be listening for poor uses of the English language and also excelling words that are used. Sir.
Here. It also bears mentioning that we have 2 speech evaluators. Brad is going to be evaluating Amy's speech, and Lorelei is going to be evaluating Edgar's speech. But we are going to hear from them.
I want to hear it.
The lectern computer, I just told Grace the lectern computer just froze. So, which is tough because I got to evaluate the speaker. I have to read her lips, I guess. Mm. Hopefully Grace will get the text. Unfortunately, it's our theme is donuts. I think you're eating donuts. They're not looking at their phone. There we go. There goes Grace.
Can you hear me, Brad?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you fine.
I took it off
I
mute.
just can't hear Amy. That's the main reason I came.
Yeah, Grace is gonna log her back in, but it's the one. Okay, well, I'm gonna go on mute, just see what happens.
Bennett, and I had Kevin Clark. Of the ABC team, they were it. So we had to meet 5 times. And we met online, of course. So pretty crazy to make sure that we honor the distinguished Toastmasters who worked so hard to earn their award this year. And we did that this weekend. I also had to work on the programs, and I worked with Wendy Lord, who is our district director. I met with her one Saturday, and I had all of the information from the distinguished Toastmasters. What is their favorite quote? What did they do for their high performance leadership project like I'm working on here? Who it inspires them? Those types of questions. They submitted paperwork to me. When they submitted it to me, it went from maybe a half an email, if you were to print it out, half a page, to 5 or 6 pages from these individuals. So when I gave all of this information to Wendy, she popped it into AI. And she said, okay, the first one we did was maybe 2 pages of information, almost like a resume. She put it in there, and it was a win because it came out and it was on that page. You could see what she did. And I said, Wendy, that was good because that was a 2-page resume. It looked good. I checked everything. It was good. I said, but I had this 4-page, 6-page resume type thing. She says, that's okay. I told AI to give it a word count. And so you can see if you scan through the program, you can see the word count that it had. And it pulled data from the 2-page resume, the little itty bitty resume, and it pulled data from the 4-page resume, and it fit on 1 page. So I was quite impressed with that. So to me, that was a win. I then tried to do my work with AI regarding the slides. So I had slides behind me while everybody was coming up on the stage and getting their medallion from their escorts. I had slides behind me. I gave too much information to AI. And so the slides looked good, but they were too busy. They were too wordy, and they didn't include the pictures of the people. Grace saw the slides because remember, she was on my team. She saw the slides, and Grace and Deb, who's also here, they saw the slides and they say, Amy, it's too busy. It's not going to look good. So then I was going to go back into AI to trim it down a little bit, but Grace came to the rescue and she worked it, and the slides were beautiful. It just had the person's picture in the middle of, on the side of on one side of the slide, it had their favorite quote, and it had who was escorting them across the stage. So that was a win because Grace helped me with that. I think I might have gotten to that point, but they wouldn't have looked as good as yours did. So thank you so much, Grace, for helping me with that. So again, AI. And then the ceremony itself was not AI. It was actually happening, and it was awesome. And I had 45 minutes, and we took a break, a bathroom break, and I did the ceremony in, I believe, 25 to 30 minutes. So I met my 45-minute commitment. So that was a win as well, because, we don't like to be any longer than we have to be. So the lessons learned, I had my vision to do the ceremony and honor those people that earned their DTM this year. And every single one of them was so very thankful. And the audience told me that they really enjoyed the ceremony and thought it was really awesome and scrumptious, should I say. The plan that I had, the guidance committee and then my other team of people helped me work through the plan. I did have some lessons learned, of which I will be giving a presentation on, specifically on the lessons learned. But the plan was, again, to meet my vision, to make sure that I honored the Distinguished Toastmasters. And they helped me, my ABC team helped me through the plan. And then they kept me on track. They made sure when we met, told them my vision, told them my plan. They gave me some ideas. I had some ideas. And as we met throughout the 5 times we met, we just made sure that I was on track to make sure that we could get to the Distinguished Toastmaster ceremony and support those individuals that earned their DTM. So my high performance leadership job is done. And I am satisfied that I had the ceremony and it went off without a hitch. And those were my lessons learned. And so we saddled up for success. And I definitely was successful in completing my goal to make sure we honor the Distinguished Toastmasters. Mr. Toastmaster.
Our second speech tonight is from one of our members. I was gonna say, huh? If you have, there's some blower grows up, you got time for just 1 minute so people can fill out their glow and grows for the speaker. But that's pretty good to get 11 DTMs within 1 year. Because with the way it is now with pathways, there's a couple of new requirements that is keeping people from finishing. As in they haven't got everything aligned. Pretty sure they will. Pretty sure they'll have it aligned and it should go a lot better. So on the agenda, you notice how we have donuts and then a 6-letter word, donuts. It has to do with what country we're taking the origin from. Because people don't spell out dough, they just go doughnuts, DONUTS. So there's a couple different ways of spelling, and English language as a way of butchering everyone's language. Depends on what you want to follow. Huh? I'm trying to remember what the American Indian deep fried was. There's a word for it. I attended a speech about it, and I just don't remember what it is. But some languages spell out the word dough. Some just kind of bunch it together. You know that it's a nut of dough deep fried. That's how they came up with doughnut. See, I'm Portuguese, so we have balasadas, which is a sweet masa that is deep fried with a hole in the middle. You roll it into a ball. Before you drop it in the oil, you stick your thumb in it to make a thin spot. So when it comes out of the oil, it's actually a ring. There's a slight hole in the middle. It's called a malasada. It's a very, very sweet dough. So we'll go on to the second speaker. Our second speaker tonight is Edgar Samaniego. His speech is Art of Looking Silly. Art of Looking Silly. Edgar Samaniego.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. What if pressure is actually the solution to most of our problems? Because diamonds don't become diamonds without pressure. And honestly, neither do we. Every confident person you see had a phase where they live completely silly trying to figure it out. Being uncomfortable is the price of growth. And part of growing is willing to look silly. Silly can look like embarrassment, awkwardness, shame, looking goofy, or even sometimes fear. But why are we so afraid to try new things? We live in one of the most comfortable eras ever. We have fast food around every corner, endless scrolling, and next day delivery, even sometimes 1 to 2 hour deliveries, and easy transportation. There's no room left for boredom, struggle, or discomfort. The moment we try something new, our brain sounds off an alarm, and it sounds something like this. Edgar, what if we look dumb? Edgar, what if it comes out wrong? Edgar, what if they laugh at you? And if you're anything like me, sometimes we think people care more than what they actually do. Once I let go of what people thought about me, I was able to express myself more, take risks, and I ended up here with all of you guys. At first, we all looked silly. Nobody was born knowing how to speak confidently, dance, lead, lift weights, or run a business, or do public speaking. We learn, we practice, and we improve. Like our fellow Toastmaster Grace once said, practice makes permanent. Are we going to practice the bad habits? Are we going to practice the steps for growth? Maybe looking silly isn't a sign that you are failing. Maybe it's proof that you are learning. Because every skill we ever admired started with somebody who wasn't very good at it. The confident speaker was once nervous. The successful business owner was once inexperienced. The athlete was once out of shape. And the musician once played the wrong notes. And every one of them had a choice: protect their pride or pursue their growth. Most of us want the confidence. Most of us want the results. But very few of us want the awkward stage that comes before that. We want the diamond, but we don't want the pressure. Diamonds don't become diamonds without pressure. And people don't become confident without this something. Next time you're afraid to speak up or try something new, remember, the goal isn't to avoid looking silly. The goal is willing to look silly long enough to grow. Because one day, the thing that embarrasses you today may become the thing you're known for tomorrow. And if that's true, then looking silly isn't something to avoid. Maybe it's an art worth mastering.
Very good, Edgar. I mean, every day, I'm kind of a goofy guy, but that's what I'm known for. And that's why people like me, I think. Because I'm willing to not worry about stepping out and trying something. So if anybody wants to write a glow and grow for Edgar, let's give it 45 seconds for him to write up a glow and grow for Edgar. But I agree. Everything requires pressure, requires practice. Practice makes permanent. Even I'm learning things from Grace. That's why I like moving around. I'm originally from Hawaii, and there's a lot of different languages there. But I enjoy the presentation of languages. I've gone to speeches that were done in Japanese, Portuguese, without any pictures. He used a whiteboard and pictures that they put up on a whiteboard to give their speech. And that changed my mind on giving speeches, because that's what it is. I'm saying words to give you pictures in your mind.
Now, if I'm speaking another language, if I give you the picture, you go, oh, okay, I understand. So it's just another form of communication. And that's always helpful in every situation in life. So that completes our prepared speeches. We're gonna do our table topics. And our table topic master tonight is Toastmaster Grace Bennett.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest. Table topics is the most fun part of a Toastmasters meeting, and it's the reason I joined. I would do presentations at work. I prepare and practice and thought it went really well. And then at the end, the president of the company would ask some question and I would be, and I think of the perfect answers I'm driving home from work. I don't know if that happens to you. Then I learned that impromptu speaking is actually a skill that you can study and practice and get better at. And that's why I'm here at Toastmasters. What I'm going to do is throw out a question. You don't know who I'm going to pick, so everybody be thinking of your answer. Guests are welcome to. Do you want to? We'll do one, so you can see how it's done, and then you can decide if you want to take a question or not. Then you have 1 to 2 minutes. The green light will come on at 1. You want to get to the green light, and when you see the red, you have 30 seconds to wrap it up. My first question. Oh, and in honor of your speech, I want all the table topic respondents to be as silly as they can. Just make your table topic response funny and silly and don't care how you look. What? It's okay, you're okay. My first question, would you rather give up scrumptious donuts forever or coffee forever? No, that's too easy for you, Katie, because you don't drink coffee. I know that. So I'm gonna call Curtis. There you go.
Oh, I do love me some donuts.
Oh, I should have said apple fritter.
Well, yeah, I can cheat. An apple fritter is not a donut, and I can have an apple fritter with my coffee. But I do like to dunk my donuts in my coffee. But give up the coffee? I have tried to give up coffee. I cannot give up coffee. I can live without donuts. In fact, I'd probably lose some weight if I did. Coffee doesn't, there's no calories in coffee. And it's got caffeine, which helps you move along, keep moving. So I'm not timing myself. Oh, Mike, did you start it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're 50 seconds in.
Only 50 seconds in? Well, but really, coffee is, for me, I mean, I could give up beer. I can't give up coffee. Yeah. But I do like some whiskey in my coffee too.
Wow. He would give up beer before coffee. He's a coffee addict?
I like coffee.
Coffeeaholic?
Yeah, but it's socially accepted.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I was
It's a chemistry thing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. What one skill would you like to scrumptiously sprinkle into your life? What skill? Katie.
Hey, jump it.
We're trying to shake your arm up. Okay, so I'm Katie Hall,
Yeah.
I'm Katie Hall, and the skill I would like to sprinkle into my life is I want to get better at my drawing. I'm pretty good so far, but I will not show you the drawings yet. I want to be a master artist. I want to learn how to draw a real looking human being. Like there's shadows and like I want to learn how to draw like even the pores of someone's skin. I want to make it look like it's just a black and white photograph of somebody. That's what I want my art to look like. And that is all I have for today. And my skill is going to be becoming a master artist like Pablo Picasso.
Oh.
Was Picasso the one with missing the ear, or
Yeah,
is that somebody
No,
else?
that's Van Gogh.
He's got it.
That's Van Gogh. And Mike
Picasso's the
Tyson.
one with the
the
eye
double
here in
ears.
the.
No, you're thinking of
Mouth.
Evander who he bit.
Oh,
Oh, Mike Tyson bit somebody's ear.
Yes,
Mike Tyson
Evander.
isn't missing the ear.
no.
Never mind, I go off topic here. Next question. Okay, now guess if you want to. Yeah, if you like the question. If you don't like the question, convince us that scrumptious donuts should be the official currency of the world. So you're going to come up here and make a sales pitch. Oh, Amy. All right. Billy.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and awesome guests. Donuts. You know, it's like the word impossible. There's possible in it. So donuts, you got to be nutty. You got to be doughy. You got to be donutty, right? So let's make it the currency. Shoot, if I could cook or bake or whatever you do with donuts, I guess you fry them, right? I guess like if I could fry, I could be queen of the world because I'd be throwing that stuff into the donut, into whatever you're supposed to do with donuts. But if you think about it, then every single store would have to have donuts because that would be the currency. Oh my goodness. And then we'd all get,
Uh-huh.
and we'd waddle through the coffee shop because I'd rather have coffee than donuts any day. But the only thing is if we made, this is a silly question because why would donuts be currency? Because then you can't give them to someone else because you eat them. And so what would the currency be? This is a silly question. So bottom line, coffee is the new currency. Coffee. That's a good question.
AI.
I just want to know what a wallet's gonna look like.
I'm just thinking of 3 donuts, please, and you're kind of like,
Since donuts are
You get a
renewable, wouldn't
purse with a
there
bowl,
be
I guess.
inflation?
Oh, inflation, the bigger they are. the
How do you
more
think all
they-
the coffee were the currency? Money really would grow on trees.
You beat
Oh,
you beat me to the hand.
Yeah.
money. Oh, I get it. I got that.
Yes,
Coffee
yes.
beans. Deb. We have a guest online, Deb Arrington. Would you like a question, Deb?
Oh, well, I guess so.
Or you can pass. All right.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we hear you just fine. Tell us, what is sweeter than a scrumptious donut?
What is sweeter than a scrumptious donut? I don't know that there's anything sweeter than a scrumptious donut. I mean, think about it. You have crullers and you have just regular plain old donuts, and you have those with icing and sprinkles, sweetness upon sweetness upon sweetness. So I don't know that you could get any sweeter. And that's what makes them so wonderful. And I was thinking about the currency, you'd have to make them pretty small to be an actual currency? And which ones would be worth more? Would it be the pink ones or the chocolate ones or the maple ones? Or maybe the long ones, that have the creamy stuff inside and the chocolate on the top. That would have to be at least $100. No, and so you would think, okay, I want the maple one because it's worth $100. And the pink one would only be worth 10. And the chocolate, in my opinion, ought to be $50 because it is sweetness upon sweetness upon sweetness. So I don't think there's anything more sweet than a donut. Gosh, what a life we live where we have all kinds of donuts to choose from. I like them all. Give me any one you want. Madam Topics Master.
Very nice. Thank you, Deb.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Aaron, do you like this question? Would you rather be trapped in a donut factory or a chocolate factory?
Would I rather be trapped in a donut factory or a chocolate factory? I think it depends what section I'm in, really. If I'm in the donut factory and I'm helping count the numbers, I'm in the logistics lab, and I'm not anywhere near making the donuts, then maybe I could do that because I just would not gain so much weight because I love donuts. However, chocolate might be my weakness. And so if I can't have a donut, I would rather pick chocolate because chocolate can go on anything. I can make a chocolate donut if I wanted to. I could have chocolate in my coffee. I could have a chocolate cake. And so I think you could do a lot more with chocolate than you can with a donut. That would be pretty dangerous in my hands. So I might pick being in a donut factory as opposed to the chocolate factory because I feel like my ability to stay away and not eat everything in front of me would be easier with a donut factory than it would with a chocolate factory.
Leticia, are you game? Yes. Yes. Okay, here's your question. If donuts, scrumptious donuts, were considered a health food, how would your life change?
How much? President, follow Toastmasters. Today is the day. Oh my Lord, today is the day. We got this donut that has all the vitamins of a fruit and a vegetable. No more dieting about donuts. You can eat as many as you can and you will never gain an inch of a pound or nothing.
Yeah.
They are good. They are in every store, in every aisle. You just walk in there and they have pink ones and red ones and white ones and blue ones. And each one of them represent a different vegetable and a different fruit. You imagine that? That will be that day, wouldn't it? As much as we like donuts, and now it has the nutrients of a vegetable and the nutrients of a fruit. I want that day. And guess what? With ChatGPT, all is possible. Very soon, we're going to have all those donuts that are going to become vegetables and fruits. And eventually, one day, maybe in 2032, when the Spurs new stadium is up and running, all over the place, we will see donuts with fruits in it and donuts with vegetables in it. And ChatGPT will help us make that happen. Will that be the dream? Thank you, Toastmasters.
Oh, I'm voting for Leticia for president. Woo! Thank you very much. Everybody here in the room, if you could tear off a little corner of your agenda, we are going to vote for our favorite table topics response. Curtis, I can't believe he's giving up coffee over donuts. Katie, she's going to. I can't, Katie, I don't want to wait till you think it's perfect. I want to see them sooner, your artwork. And Amy, yes, she just bagged the whole idea of donuts as currency. We're going to be slopping around some coffee. Deb, nothing sweeter than a donut. Erin, I don't get, she wants to be in the chocolate factory,
I
but
want to be in the donut factory. Chocolate factory is too
dangerous.
Yes, it's
But in your heart, I know you want to be there in the chocolate factory. And Leticia, yes, I'm voting for her because donuts are going to be healthy. I will come around and collect. For those of you online, if you can text me with your response, and I will tally them up. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
That was great. That was a good run of table topics. So we'll move on to the evaluation portion of this meeting. The general evaluator is Mike Hall.
Thank you. Now, as far as what factory, the chocolate or the donut factory, I'd be happy to be caught in either one, just as long as it's not the coal factory, because that'll smell.
Oh.
But all of that being said, I headed over to Brad, who is going to give a scrumptious evaluation of Amy's speech. So Brad, over to you.
Thank you very much, Michael. I'll try to keep this evaluation scrumptious, and it's really not that hard to do because that presentation was quite scrumptious. One of the nice things about having a past district director come and give a speech is that in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, by the time they become a district director, they've already mastered the skills they need to communicate in front of an audience. And Amy, you did a wonderful job of sharing those skills with us today. Your presence in the front was professional and solid. You right immediately took control of the presence, the stage, and began to speak with us, not at us. You had great gestures. You had great eye contact. You connected with everybody in the room. Your gestures were supportive of what you were saying, and I thought that went really well. You had notes, but you didn't seem to be referring to them very much. They were there, but they didn't seem to be overly important. And it just flowed wonderfully well. You were sharing with us your experience about being a leader. The thing that came through to me most of all of you being a leader is you using all the skills you need to be a leader. You got to set a vision of what you wanted to see at the district conference. You put a team around you who could help guide you and give you some ideas to make this vision come true. And also, when you got stuck, could help you get unstuck, like with AI. I know Wendy I think her secret lover is Claude because she loves that Claude AI program, and she comes up with the greatest things using it. And hearing that she was able to help you do that, that was marvelous. And that Grace was able to say, hey, let's see if we can clean up the slides a little bit, because the slides that you used at the conference were perfect. I really appreciated them. Just a couple of thoughts that I think it even had more impact to this would be to show us a copy of the busy slide and then a copy of the finished slide. It gives you a chance to shout out to Grace, who you knew was in the room, but still it would give us all an idea of how to be careful with your slides, because many of us have gone to business meetings where PowerPoint slides are really a death knell of a presentation. But you could also have done something silly like have the agenda, what you called it, your resume, a real long sheet of paper, how you had to crunch that down to basically one page, and how you were able to do that using Claude and AI to come down with something really succinct. But the bottom line is this speech was filled with such wonderful descriptions and explanations of the experience that you had, that any of us in this room should be inspired to raise your hand and volunteer to take on a scrumptious task like this, because now we've heard how it can be done in a way that comes out beautifully. And just an insight, I was at the ceremony that you did. It was marvelous. That's Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Alex. And now I'll call up our second speech evaluator, Lorelei Hall, who will be evaluating Edgar's speech.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Most of all, Edgar. Wow, I am so impressed at the growth that I have seen just from the last speech that you gave. Was that just 2 weeks ago? That's phenomenal. I had a really hard time finding areas for you to get better at. I did not hear any stumbling. I heard very well projected voice. You started with a question that grabbed our attention and brought us into what you were going to be talking about and really got our juices flowing. That was amazing. That is one of the things that I've heard from master speakers, that is what you should do, is start with a question. Some things that I heard were, goodness, clear and concise diction, where you were explaining to us how when you are fearful and you're uncomfortable, you don't want to look silly. But then moving past that, it's a matter of pride to be able to get past that, to be able to grow, even through the awkward moments in our lives. Loved your analogy of the diamond. You brought that up several times, that a diamond does not become a diamond without pressure. And being in Toastmasters, it does give you some pressure, some nerves when you're up here looking silly or afraid you're going to look silly. Buddy, you did not look silly up here. You were fantastic. One area that I think you could strive for with your next speech is work to use your cards less. When you do that, one of the things you can do is maybe just put a point, something that will trigger your memory to remember what story you're telling or something along those lines. That will help you to get away from using those cards and not being able to do anything with your hands. Then you'll start experimenting with gestures and opening up your options and opportunities to become a lot more comfortable and easygoing and have a much better relationship with us, your audience. Very well done. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Lorelei. Ron, would you tell us how we did? Good, bad, ugly, and scrumptious of our language tonight.
All right. For Mike C, you had to enjoy. You had a double clutch, enjoy, and then you did so you had a few double clutches. For Letitia, I heard an and that's about all I caught. Amy used the word of the day a couple times. Grace used it about 4 times. Brad used it about 4 times. And Debbie used it a couple times. I don't remember if anybody else said scrumptious. I'm sure there were more scrumptiouses around that were used that I did not catch.
because I was eating my scrumptious fish. Not the donut. I had fish sticks.
You don't clap.
That's
You don't clap. It's
yeah. They couldn't make fish sticks into donuts, you know? Sir. Okay. Curtis, would you tell us how we did on time?
Everyone was within their limits. Amy, 6 minutes and 23 seconds. Edgar, 3 minutes and 36 seconds. You're a little short. Table topics. I myself, 1 minute 14. Katie, 1 minute 24. Amy, 1 minute 17. Deb, 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Aaron, 1 minute 15 seconds. And Letitia, 1 minute 30. And Brad, evaluation of Amy's speech was 3 minutes and 4 seconds. And Lorelei, yours was 3 minutes and 2 seconds. That's my report.
Excellent. Well, we had a sweet meeting with 2 great speeches, 2 great evaluations, fabulous table topics, fun, a lot of guest participation, and we are tracking to end probably about 5 minutes late after we fill roles and make the rounds for comments. So all in all, I think we had a good, fun meeting. Now I will go ahead and turn it back over to our Toastmaster, who will then turn it right back over to me, or you go, or I could just shake my own hand and get her done.
Straight on,
Yes, indeed. So, hey, Aaron, what did you see that can help you?
Seeing so many different techniques and ways to improve your speech, even past just your words, the gestures and timing. There are so many different things that I think you can improve your speech with that helps on your day.
Cool. And hey, Amy, what did you think of our meeting?
That's great. And I love the theme, even though my question was crazy, but I love the theme, and then structure was a good word. I like how you guys already have the word for next week already. That's awesome.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, David, out of 43 marathons, I've only run 6, and it dang near killed me. Out of your 43 marathons, what was your favorite?
It's evident that I started running marathons. It took me 7 years of running over 2,000 miles to try to qualify for the Boston Marathon. So, in response to that question, it's takes a lot of patience, a lot of determination. It's 50% physical, 50% mental, and there's a lot of sacrifice, especially when you're trying to work your 50 hours a week job at HEB, where I was a manager in charge, and trying to train and qualify for the Boston Marathon. And one thing that's unique about the Boston Marathon is that you have to remember that that's the only marathon in the world that you have to qualify by running a particular time in your age bracket. So in my age bracket, between 55 and 59 years old, I had to run a marathon in less than 3 hours and 45 minutes. My God.
And I qualified in Houston where I ran a marathon on a flat course like this table. 3 hours and 40 minutes and 36 seconds in the month of January. And I did something unique that people say, what? You qualified for Boston twice? Yes, I did. After running Houston flat course in January, the following month, I qualified for Boston again. I ran at 3 hours and 44 minutes and 36 seconds.
Whoa.
So back-to-back Boston Marathon qualifying times. And if you Google that, it's very difficult to qualify for Boston. So only the best runners in the world, you're running against the best runners in the world when you run Boston, because it's the only marathon that you have to qualify to run. You can run New York City, you can run any other marathon, but Boston is the only marathon you have to qualify and run. And so my best marathon was Boston. It was a very unique experience, especially when you have to consider this. The time that I ran Boston, 4 hours and 33 seconds. Move time forward. 5 years later, that exact time, those two bumps went up at the finish line, 385 yards up. So it's all about destiny. It wasn't my time. I ran my marathon in 2008, that exact time. 5 years later, finish line, 2013, that's when Boston Marathon probably took place. So I'm very thankful that I was able to run it and finish it. And I really had a great time. Best marathon that I've ran out of my 43 marathons in all types of weather conditions.
Okay.
Just so they could hear.
Now, if you join, you can tell more stories.
That was the icebreaker right there.
Yes, exactly. Yes, that repeats you. Wait, so what was your favorite part of the meeting tonight?
Hello, Toastmasters, President, Madam. My favorite part of today's meeting, besides meeting all of you today, was all the different ways that people can communicate to express their idea or their topic. I'm impressed with everybody here in this room today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And then finally, our guest, Deborah. Wade. What was your favorite part of the meeting tonight?
Me?
Yes.
Yes. My favorite part is the camaraderie and the fun that you guys had with each other. That makes all the difference in the world in a good meeting. You had great speeches, good table topics, responses, and fantastic evaluators, and everybody enjoyed themselves. That's my favorite part of the meeting.
Yay. Thank you. So who wants to hear who won table topics? Drum roll, please. The winner is, oh, a tie for me? A tie? But no, that's Father's Day.
Oh.
So we've got we've got Leticia and Aaron. So please, come on up. All right. And say, since you joined, you got a first timer's ribbon as well.
Oh.
Hey, congratulations. Excellent. Now our last order of business for the night, fill the roles for next meeting. So who wants to be D-Mod? The theme is a rose by any other name. So many different ways you can take that. Whether it's an alias or it's an actual flower, who knows? A rose by any other name. You get to figure it out if you're D-Mod. Grace, your team on. Oh, okay, so who wants to be table topics master?
I can.
Okay, Lorelai gets table topics. Who wants to be speaker? All right, Leticia. Excellent. Who wants to be evaluator? I will, oh, okay, right. Excellent. Who wants to be general evaluator? Oh, Raul, you're up for the challenge?
I'll take it.
All right. And who wants to be word master, a master grammarian? Edgar?
Yeah.
Okay. I will go ahead and be timer. And who has a good joke? Okay, Curtis has a good joke. Hey, excellent. So we've got Grace's team on. We've got Lorelai's table topics. We've got Leticia as speaker one. We've got Brian as evaluator one. Raul is general evaluator. Edgar is WAG. I'm timer. And Curtis is humorist.
Brian,
Word master, I'm master grammarian. Yes, Brad.
Brian or Ron want to speak?
I'm sorry.
Do Brian or Ron want to give a speech next week?
Brian's eval.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian's eval.
Okay.
Yeah, Ron, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if Ron wants to speak.
Actually, school. I'm starting school next week.
Yeah, right.
Nice. Okay, so Ron is speaker two. Ron is speaker two.
No, starting school.
You're serious?
Yes.
Okay, we thought you were joking.
No, my class starts on Monday.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Oh, all right. Well, at least out of all of us, you have class. So that's good.
Oh, good.
And on that happy note, I'm going to quit while I'm behind. We are adjourned.
Nice to see you, Deborah. What club do you belong to?
I belong to New Braunfels Toastmasters.
No, I've seen you around. I just couldn't remember which club
Yeah.
was
We had a
track.
great time at conference.
It was
I wanted to follow up with Amy's speech because I was on her team and I wanted to follow it all the way through.
We sign you up for
So,
that if you want.
yes, thank you for welcoming me.
And I'll be out to New Braunfels again some evening, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we'll welcome you whenever you come.
You take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Go ahead and do that. And then, would you go ahead and start filling out that application because we need to have it on file?
What they do is. One of the things that I started running. The only way you find that out is to go to the running stores from their free. And put the feet in the computer. Right now, and there's also you get that article. Some people run and they're running that walks to the inside or outside. Or
I didn't know it was a problem. And he was also
Okay, we're gonna remedy that. I'm gonna send an email out to all the PCNs if they did not walk the stage and who's to apply to the list for next year. Okay? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was like, I was on screen, COVID, you know, like in the booth.
Yeah, no, those.
No, I don't have WhatsApp. It gets better.
What is it? What's that?
It's, I don't like Facebook now.
Yeah, they're open that, so.
Yes. Facebook.
So we looking for an email from me. Within the month, I'm gonna send out all the details.